Good evening, everyone. When Judas had left them, Jesus said, "Now is the Son of Man glorified, and God is glorified in him. If God is glorified in him, God will also glorify him in himself, and God will glorify him at once." John 13, verses 31 to 32. If the life we live here and now is all we will ever have, then it makes sense to believe that death is our worst enemy. But as we know, this life is but a grain of sand in the ocean in comparison to eternity. For that reason, we must see death as our passing into the glories that await. The death of a loved one is difficult for sure. And when we face our own death, there are many temptations we might experience toward fear of the unknown. But if the Son of God chose to endure death itself, then we must work to see death differently. Today's Gospel passage speaks of Jesus' coming death as his glorification. Now is the Son of Man glorified, and God is glorified in him. Jesus spoke these words right after Judas left the Last Supper to betray him. From an earthly perspective, it is unlikely that anyone would consider the betrayal and brutal death as the moment when God is glorified. But from a heavenly and eternal perspective, Jesus' death was the greatest glorification he could offer to the Father. This only makes sense when we put on the mind of God. As we continue to celebrate our Easter season, we look beyond the suffering of Christ to see the fruit of his suffering. We see that death was defeated and that Jesus will now forever live in his glorified and resurrected body in heaven. He will forever carry the marks in his hands, feet, and side, and those marks will forever glorify the Father. The resurrection of Christ changes everything, including death. For that reason, we must continually work to put on the mind of God and see our human lives as he sees them. What is it that you live for in your life? What are your goals and ambitions? If you find that you focus excessively upon immediate pleasures, material wealth, selfish objectives, and passing ambitions, then it is time to ponder the lesson of Jesus' glorification. By facing his own death as an opportunity to glorify the Father, Jesus made it possible for us to do the same. And though there will always be a healthy sorrow associated with the passing of a loved one, the hope of heaven and eternal glory must become the lens through which we see all things in this life. When you look at your life, it is essential to see the cross that God has given to you. That is because your cross is the gateway to this eternal glory. Each person's cross will be different. A cross is not simply our suffering. It is our call to live sacrificially. This is love. It is the calling we are given to lay down our lives for others, to serve others, to forgive every wrong, to love every sinner, to show mercy and compassion towards those in need, and to do all of this in response to God's perfect will. The crosses in our lives are opportunities for love and its purest form. This is how Jesus saw his cross, and this is how we must see ours. Reflect today upon death, but try to look at it as a calling to give of yourself sacrificially out of love. The best way to prepare yourself for a glorious death is to live in the love of God here and now. To the extent that you can do that, God will be glorified as you share in the glory given to Christ. And God bless you.